good at. At least that's my preliminary. Yeah.
That's a direct.
I've heard there's some areas around South Chicago that can be a little bit rough here and there, but
Yeah, I'm sure. I just went to Chicago not last week, the weekend before.
yeah.
A friend of mine was taking her sister over there, dropping her off at the airport, so I rode with her.
What do you think of Chicago, the city?
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
No, we didn't really go in too far. We were just
Yeah.
kind of on the outskirts.
Yeah.
My sister's been there a few times. She says it's expensive.
Yeah, a lot of the major cities are pretty expensive. Like Chicago's like the third largest city, isn't it, behind like New York and LA or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
So
No, haven't actually been into Chicago at all in years. Been in Detroit. A few other states, pretty much straight south and east. Oh. Stop and think about it. New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, and obviously Indiana, Mississippi, Washington, Virginia, West Virginia.
yeah. Been to a few.
Yeah, I've been through a few.
Yeah.
Missouri. That's about all I've made it so far.
Yeah. And then internationally, so you've been to Canada when you were a kid. Have you?
That's all more I've been internationally is Canada.
Yeah.
Don't mind going back. My girls want to go to the Niagara Falls on the Canada side.
Yeah, it's beautiful there.
And Niagara Falls on the American side, but when you first get there, it's kind of trashy.
And we Canadians think we have the much nicer side of the Niagara Falls.
You just sit there and look across the falls, you can see how much nicer it is.
Yeah.
When we first got there, I thought I was lost because of a bunch of run-down buildings and stuff like that. And you get matter of fact, where that radio tower is right there, it's called Hoosier Hill. It's the highest point in Indiana.
This right here?
Yeah. Literally the highest point in Indiana.
Alright, we're at the highest point in Indiana.
Yep.
We made it.
Go over to the road, which is just over there to the trees, probably about half a mile. Yeah. The road actually goes up just a little bit further than we are now over there. So right here
Yeah.
is the highest point in Indiana. Not much, not like a lot of your other states. We got the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't think that would be the highest point.
You wouldn't think
No.
so, but they say it is.
There you go.
I mean, for Steuben County, it's got the highest point in Indiana, and we also have 101 lakes just in this county.
Well, someone's telling me about the 101 Lakes thing. Yeah.
We'll pass a couple more before we get to where I drop you off, and then
Yeah.
back. Just probably within a 5-mile radius right here, you have probably about 20 lakes.
Yeah.
Good for the fishing.
You fish much?
Yeah, I haven't lately. I've been working too much here lately.
Yeah. What do you catch a lot of in these parts?
A lot of bass, bluegill. Those are your main catch.
Yeah.
I mean, you got pike, trout, stuff like that.
And you catch and cook, or do you not?
I usually catch release.
Yeah.
Yeah. My girls don't eat fish, so I figure I'm not gonna be on one.
Yeah.
Cut them, clean them.
So you got a few kids?
Yep, 2 daughters.
How old are they now?
Turned 18, and then my youngest 16.
16, 18. That's a a fun age range.
Yeah.
Are they acting like teenagers? Or are they pretty reserved?
They're pretty reserved. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just been the 3 of us for years, so they pretty much learned how to take care of themselves and cook and stuff like that on their own. They're pretty good. They're a pain in my butt, but I blame them for the reason why I'm playing ball.
One who's 18, what's their plan now that they're, I'm guessing they're finishing school or finished school?
My oldest just graduated.
Yeah.
And my youngest is planning on finishing school, and then she's going to go to some art school. She's thinking about one in California, or there's another one over here in Ohio she might want to go to.
Oh, yeah.
She can draw like no other. When she was in, what grade was she? Just went in the 6th grade. She won a drawing competition for the entire U.S. and District of Columbia. She was like
Wow.
runner-up.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Was there a little prize for that?
Yeah, she got a $500 gift card and name in the paper and all that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Picture.
That would have been exciting.
Yeah. Yep, she was excited. I was proud of her. Alright, this is our exit here.
Your exit?
Yeah,
Cool.
Michigan's just up here, right mile.
A mile away.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's exciting. Well, if I don't get another ride today, I'll probably just walk to Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, your closest exit to Michigan would be probably about 3 miles, but literally the state line is just a mile right there.
Okay.
You want to just drop off?
Yeah, just pull off on the side of the road here where it's safe, and I'll just walk up to the on-ramp again.
Not a problem.
Alright. As part of the documentation process, do you mind if we get a quick picture together just sitting here? Yeah.
Sure, that's fine.
Awesome.
Alright, I'm not going to see it on any wanted posters, am I?
I hope not. Alright. Oh, that's my sign. Just take me 1 sec to get the backpack.
Not a problem. You're fine.
Alright, well, thanks again for the lift.
Yeah, not a problem. Good luck.
Yeah, I will. Have a good one. Hey. I feel like this ride was a bit abrupt. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Alright, let's get my bag back together. Alright, let's ride 4 on the day. So I didn't show him because he was shirtless, and apparently it really depends whether they like you being shirtless or not. Connection around here is pretty squirrely. I apologize for the connection errors on the last ride there. We could not hold at 720p 1500 bitrate, so I dropped down to 480 700, which is probably not the best quality. So I just showed out the front window. from inside, say you're trying to hone in on camping. Well, I probably won't be staying here, but also I'm making your job too easy. Black Panther, thanks for the 25 bits. Good job, thank you. Did you have pants on? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Shoulder looks good too. Full 90-degree turn. Everyone has to go real slow. Single lane, wide shoulder. Goes to soft shoulder. Looking good. Feel like you're not supposed to be using the shoulder there. Everything I want to put the west of you. I'm 1 mile from the border. I want to get to Michigan. And yes, probably too late in the day. 5 o'clock, yeah. It's not gonna be much traffic right now. Show you the on-ramp. Let's walk. It's hitchhiking stream. Well, I guess part of hitchhiking is hiking. Here's the on-ramp. People can come from here or turn left from over there. And here's my shoulder. That white sign there, I can't walk past it. So we'll stand before it. It all makes sense. Alright. What does the sign say? Which one? My sign? 69. '69, baby. Nice big lake across the interstate. Oh, that'd be nice. Get eaten alive by bugs. They like lakes. Mosquitoes. Stagnant water and such. Decent amount of traffic on the on ramp. Yeah, I think this will be a good ramp. Good. No, backpack! Why have you done this to me? Rude. Extremely rude. Okay, you're gonna need the water bottle treatment. I can already tell. Just gonna drink a little first. Then we're gonna prop you up. Hotel tonight? I don't know. I had someone offer to get me a room for tonight. If I get an opportunity for an interesting place to camp, like you guys like camping streams, I think, so. So I'd like to camp. And I showered this morning, so. My batteries are good. I'm fairly clean. I got like 24 bug bites on my legs though. Like camping stories. Yeah? Do ya? Do ya? You want s'mores? Still in Fort Wayne? No, we've had 3 rides since Fort Wayne. We're right by the Indiana-Michigan border. I think it's huge and goes. Okay. Do you have 6-pack abs? I've got 13-pack abs. Camp Sac Inn is just awesome. Okay, now keep in mind I'm like by the interstate and the connection here sucks. If I go anywhere in any direction off this interstate, I'm guessing I'm gonna lose complete connection. So here's kind of the best place to camp if I want to stream. If I'm not streaming, it doesn't really matter. How's the spider bite? Almost fully healed. It just has a little bit of a, like, I can feel just where the initial bite was, but the rest is healed around it. How many 69 offers have I had? Well, I've used this sign 4 times today, so 69 or 469 interstate offers. I think this is the last exit before Michigan, so whoever picks us up here will bring us to state number 39 out of 50. That's a large piece of machinery coming up. Five rides. Aren't we at like 208 or 209? See a road train in Michigan. Where they've got road trains in Michigan? Like 3-length tractor trailers? Is that what you mean? Because road train was a thing in Australia. Would you get a robotic arm? I'd rather just have my real arms, thank you very much. But if I lost an arm, then yes. Then yes. Yes, I would. I'm gonna get my backup phone out so I can read chat without squatting down. I've been to Florida, yes. The asphalt poor things. How many times did that Marine murder you? He didn't murder me, but I have been murdered 3 times. Hitchhiking. Oh, Michigan has different length laws when it comes to that, kind of like Australia. Oh, okay. That's cool. I didn't know that. Katie Holmes, back in Ontario. Respawn time 60 seconds, yeah. And throat punch, yes, I did get throat punched. It was so brutal. Oh, karate chop to the neck. Any plans coming through Minnesota, mate? Yes, I'm going through all 50 states, and I have not been to Minnesota, so I will be going through Minnesota. It'll be coming up pretty soon here. Why do you get punched? No, he just accidentally hit me in the throat pretty lightly. He was the bus driver on a bus in New Orleans, and like someone got on, so they put the ramp on like in a wheelchair thing. So he got on, then they closed it, and then I was like walking on after they closed it, and it didn't close properly, so he had to pull it back out and pull it back in. But he was gonna stick his hand up and be like, hold on a second. But I had already started walking on, so he just karate chopped me in the neck. Did you get a weird vibe from the last driver? Not really. But yeah, we're in pretty low resolution right now, so sorry about the quality, but... Looked like barely a flick. I know, and I thought it was funny, and everyone's like, oh, he punched you! Everyone freaked out and clipped it. And so I got punched in the throat when he like barely touched me. I've heard the Michigan state slogan is much like Virginia, Michigan is also for lovers. Oh boy. I don't even have a response to that. Oh, what a wonderful day. Next ride will make it ride 5 on the day, which is a solid day of hitchhiking. Rides have come quick, people have been friendly. I'm having a good one. I'm having a good day. Day 100. Solid. Have you lost weight or built muscle that you notice? I've lost weight and probably built muscle. Probably both. My legs definitely feel stronger. My core feels stronger. I don't really know about my upper body. I don't work my upper body too much, like my chest and arms and stuff. But I've also probably lost weight. If you caught a truck going all the way west coast, would you take it? Or that's too much? I don't want to take it right now. Also, I have to take a specific route going through states that I haven't been through. That truck would take the most efficient route and wouldn't go through the states I need to go through. Let's run the voyage. What is the most amount of rides in one day? Most rides was 7 with Emily. We did 7 rides in one day. Most rides by myself was 6. Yeah. Drive by Moonview? Not hitchhiking, but driving home from work in Kelowna, BC. Someone did that once. Just, 2 girls in a car, and the passenger mooned me. So it looks pretty. Great sky. Yeah, I guess that is nice. Ever had a day without a ride? No. If I've given it a a solid effort. I've always had a ride. So you got 12 guys once? I have. That person asked about it on this trip. I believe they did, at least. Isn't this technically legal? Has he ever gotten arrested? Now there's a very simple rule on Twitch TV. You can't stream yourself doing something illegal. This is day 100 of hitchhiking around America. If this was illegal, do you think the stream would even exist? But to seriously answer your question, it's illegal in 5 states: Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Delaware, New Jersey. I don't hitchhike through those states, or I don't actively hitchhike in those states, and I try to follow all local, state, and federal laws as I go. I think the 69 sign isn't helping. Well, it's gotten me 4 rides today, so I don't know what you want. Come through Illinois, I'll get you a burger. I like burgers. I'll be coming through Illinois after Michigan here. Oh. Do 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 do. I think it's some of the shortest wait times you've seen. Yeah, today's been really good. Prior to today, well, yesterday had some long wait times and some short wait times. But then the day of hitchhiking before that, we had the 6.5 hour wait. So anyone that's been watching recently has seen some very long wait times, which is not par for the course. How far up Michigan are you going? Not very far. Did you get drunk last night? No, I had 2 beers over like 2.5, 3 hours. Ever lost battery completely? On this trip I've been extremely close, but I haven't actually had everything die on me. I've been close though. I broke Solo Coot. Has your cell phone battery ever went bad while streaming? Yeah, I've had my phone accidentally die on me before. How many times are you gonna hitchhike through USA? Well, this is the first time I've hitchhiked all through it, and then I kind of want to see if I can Twitch hike through it, which is rides from the community, see if we can connect the community all around the United States. I've been to Prague. No, I have not. I tried to. I made a sign for Prague and everything. but I could not get a ride there, so I went up through Germany to Berlin and then to Poland instead of going to Czech Republic. Come back through Atlanta, I'll take you to the strip club. I won't be coming back through Atlanta. I appreciate the offer though. Looks like if you cut over in the Kalamazoo area, that'd be good. Head east line. Well, head west would be the direction, but that's what I looked at a map, and that's what I thought I'd do. Hey, Love Burgers, have you had a Juicy Lucy burger? I have not. I don't know what that means. Battery completely stopped working and couldn't be charged anymore? No, I have not had that happen. Netherlands, like small, friendly. They speak really good English there. Great infrastructure for public transit and bicycling. It's so fun to bike around the Netherlands. How many days do you think you will do? I'm going until I go to all 50 states. I'll probably finish the continental US states in another 3-4 weeks, and then I have to figure out Alaska and Hawaii. Come back through New York? No, I've already been through New York twice on this trip. Won't be through a third time. You live near Detroit? I won't be coming through Detroit. Just the southern part of Michigan for me. Never a Juicy Lucy? It's a Minnesota tradition. Can't wait to get here. Okay, I guess I'll have to try one. Poland's underrated for travel. I had a good time in Poland. Met some really nice people. It's a hamburger stuffed with cheese. Oh. I made hamburgers stuffed with cheese at Clutch Frog's place in Maryland. Trevor has a sign hoarding problem. No, I only have like 17 signs. You buy any Polish pottery? I am absolutely never going to ever buy pottery while I'm hitchhiking. I'm just gonna break it. Or for the DOT, specifically the road signage department, sign game on point. Yes, got that 69 sign. Where did you go in Maryland? I hung out in Baltimore, or just outside Baltimore. And then I know it's not Maryland, but I went to DC while I was in that area. How long do you think it would take to edit all this footage into production? I've never done video editing, so I don't know. But right now we've got like 850 hours of footage. Where are you going for dinner? I don't know yet. I don't know where I'm going to end up. Ever get picked up by someone young, like 20s? Yes, I have. But yeah, in general, it's people that are on the older side that will pick you up hitchhiking. I feel like younger people have had it grilled into them, their youthful lives, that they shouldn't pick up hitchhikers. So, I don't know. Stop anywhere in Northern Virginia? It would have given you a ride. I stop anywhere? Not really. I just passed through. Had some interesting people. Thank you, Tony Donnie Rovers. Need help with editing and volunteer? I appreciate that, Celine. We'll see what happens when I get back home. Waffle House. Last time I went to Waffle House, they wouldn't let me stream, and they said it was a company policy, so I'm never going back to Waffle House. The food was okay, though. Oh yeah, I got a ride from someone that was on his way to his high school graduation. Where was that? That was, where was I? Wasn't I heading north out of, like, Charleston? Or something like that? General plan then, Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and onward. Yeah, that's correct. After Minnesota would be South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Utah, Nevada. Then maybe California and try to hitch a ride to Hawaii or Alaska. Come back to UK anytime soon. I've been telling people I'd like to do a European trip with the stream. That'll take a little bit of planning and a little bit of forethought. If I do a European trip, UK would be a part of that. On my way home right now? No. I'm kind of headed west right now, which is in the direction of home. But I'm not going home till I go to all 50 states. I remember you offered to take you shooting. Yeah, I remember that. And he took me to an airport. I almost got a ride. The guy at the airport tried to hook me up with a ride on a King Air that this pilot was flying. We chased him down and asked. Because he was going where I wanted to go, but he said company policy was he couldn't take me. You would think it's more the cell phone age and young people interact less with strangers. That could be it. Refunds when this trip is over. Go back home to Canada, maybe stream a little bit from home. I don't know what my content would be. And then go on another trip. Bring you guys. Catch a boat ride to Hawaii. I would be off stream for about 2 weeks. Or places like Liechtenstein, Lithuania, and Latvia like? You just transit through them? Yeah, Liechtenstein. I went from Switzerland to Liechtenstein. And how did I do that? I think I caught a ride into Liechtenstein, got dropped off shortly after the border, walked a few kilometers, hitched another ride to the border to Austria. And they actually stopped me at the border. I was walking across the border to Austria, and the border actually stopped me there and asked to see my passport, which was surprising because it's usually open borders there. But they were friendly. They just looked at my passport. They're like, okay, good to go. But yeah, I was through there in a few hours. It's very small. Lithuania. So yeah, I came from Poland into Lithuania. I got dropped in Vilnius, and I hung out there for a night. I stayed with a local guy there that I was walking around the streets, and he's like, hey, how's it going, in perfect English. I guess he could tell I wasn't from there. And we hung out, had a few beers, he let me stay at his place. And then I hitchhiked to Latvia the next day. And then at the Lithuanian-Latvian border, I got picked up by a Russian guy, and he drove me right into Russia. So I didn't spend much time there. You have another pants and shirt in your jetpack? My jetpack is what provides my internet. I have one pair of pants and 2 shirts that I wear. Golden Gun, I'm still about a mile from the border right now. Which country, one that you've never been before, would like to hitchhike next? I told people, yeah, I was asked earlier. I said New Zealand, but then I also said Mongolia. I think that'd be interesting. Have you ever skydived? I have not, but I would like to. That's right, 8-bit. We can, at the end of this, we can go back through all the different rides and kind of relive the moments as they happen. Are you going through Arizona? I already did. You use a credit card, that's correct. How many pairs of underpants and socks? 7 pairs of socks, 4 pairs of underpants. Should have went through Ohio, through Michigan, then back down to Indiana than Illinois. Eh, oh well. Did it this way. Can always say you shoulda. I had fun this way. Josh, nicely. Hey Trevor, looks like you're zooming right along. I am, Josh. Having a good time. Heard you've been streaming. That's pretty exciting. How have they gone? Is it fun streaming? I like it. Well, Michigan, are you going through the Upper Peninsula? I am not. Just staying around south. You've hitched without Twitch. How lonely is that? Well, I didn't find it lonely, but now that I've done it with Twitch, I could see it feeling like there's something missing. Hey, so Snickers is sponsoring you now? I'm not sure. They DM'd me, or they sent me a message on Twitter and asked me to DM them, so I DM'd them and now I'm waiting for a response. Any reason for more socks than pants? Why do I have 1 pair of pants and 7 pairs of socks? Because I like having clean socks on. Pants, it doesn't really matter. But dry, clean socks is very important to my mental state. Thanks for streaming, buddy. Thanks for watching, Lil What. Hope today's going well. It is. This has been a great day of hitchhiking. Only recently started watching. You caught the guy rapping in the truck. That was brilliant. In the truck? Oh, the Relic the Clown? Yeah, Relic slayed it. Use public showers? I shower when I get an opportunity. Oh, there's a truck with 3 trailers. That's different. Yes, we did catch another ride after the engineer. He just took me another 10 miles or something. S at the end of Illinois. I do that. I know that. I just sometimes accidentally say it because I'm reading it. You meant knickers? Okay, well, if you say pants, people are going to assume that you're talking about pants because you literally said pants. Come on. Streaming a little, you don't like to tell stories? You need a job? You're good, moving up already. You're sore, but in a good way, I reckon. Alright, sounds good, Josh. Got fresh socks, got your Costco 70% wool. Yeah, Costco merino wool socks are a good value. I feel like they've gone down in quality, though. I've gotten a few batches of the Costco merino wool socks. Now I exclusively pretty much wear Icebreaker and Smart Wool socks because I worked in the industry and I got free or really cheap pairs. But they run more like $3 socks, so they're kind of expensive if you're buying retail. So the 69 go all the way to Pleasure Town. That's a good one. I like that one. You didn't say trousers, Smartants? Well, when people say pants, they talk about pants, like pants. I have not met anyone that calls underwear or underpants pants. Socks have no utility? My feet beg to differ. Also, you probably have really smelly feet. You watch fellow Canadian Linus Tech Tips? I've watched a couple things, but not really. What kind of boots do you wear? They're Fry full leather upper boots. I got them like secondhand for like 20 bucks, and then I took them to a cobbler and got a Vibram sole attached. Everyone in the UK calls them pants. Well, we're not in the UK, are we? This is Hitchhiking America. In America, pants are whatever you call trousers. So all along you wanted the 81 sign, your 12-year-old juvenile mind thinks the Route 69 sign is a tougher runner-up. Tough choice, isn't it? Do 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 do. You wait till you bring your fanny to the UK? Alright. Is that some sort of fish or something? That is the proper response. That is the American response. I like it. Any rides today? We have had 4 rides today. What? Kamenka. 4 rides, I think. Have you been approached by any news outlets to tell your story? Not yet. If someone invites me to come tell my story, sure, I'll come there and be like, hi, I'm Trevor, I'm from Canada, I hitchhike. I got picked up at least once. Greater than or equal to 3 times. Like how this part of the stream essentially turns into an AMA. I know. And people are like, telling me to do a 24-hour stream. I'm like, what would I do for 24 hours? They're just like, answer questions. I'm like, that's what I already do. What do you think I do all day when we're just hitchhiking and we're not in a car? We do a lot of Q&A because there's downtimes in hitchhiking where you're not in a car and you're waiting for a ride, so you answer questions. Canada abridges subjects, so what we say is, I disagree. Canada is an independent nation. But when you get in the car, it's Q&A all over again, but with the drivers. That's true. This channel is just a whole bunch of Q&A. And then I have the social eating aspect, and you guys are like, review the food, Trevor. Asking me about the food. And then I say, it's good. I like it. It's enjoyable. And then I finish and I'm like, I am full. And that's about as far as we get. Good questions, good answers. You ever hike solo camp? Is it more just a hitchhiking thing? Well, I haven't solo hiked and camped like without the hitchhiking being part of it. It's always involved hitchhiking if I've been solo hiking and camping. I love hiking, I love camping, but it's always been with other people. Favorite state you've been to in terms of scenery? I couldn't pick one. Whole Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, California, going down like the west coast along the Pacific Ocean, outer banks of North Carolina, also the Northeast, Vermont, New Hampshire, the mountains, very green, very beautiful. When are you going to update your Instagram? At some point. Climb Mount Everest next? Maybe. Sponsor me, someone who wants to climb Mount Everest. Give me a year. I was gonna say a year to train. I might need 2 years to train for that. I'm in okay shape, but I'm in no type of climbing Everest shape. Also, my technical climbing skills are non-existent, so. Everest is not a technical climb, but I still want to have that knowledge ingrained into my brain in case I need it. There was splurge on a bit of luxury accommodation. Not usually luxury. The only time I did that on this trip is when me and Emily made it to Boston, Massachusetts after hitchhiking from Montpelier to Boston over a few days. Decided to splurge and get somewhere nice. So we stayed in a 5-star hotel in Boston. But it was pretty cheap. Used hot wire. Any natural disasters while hitchhiking? No, I have not. And cuss at it. Never seen an angry Canadian. That's because they don't exist. So how could I cuss and punch my bag if that's not something that we do? What got you into do this? I started hitchhiking because I hated the Greyhound bus. And now 4 years later, I've hitchhiked through 25 countries and been picked up over 900 times. So it all started because I hated buses. Goes around $35,000 to climb Everest. Yeah, like the cheapest way you can do it will probably cost you like, I don't know, 20 grand. You can spend 100 grand on a very luxurious climb of Mount Everest where some like porters will carry everything for you pretty much. How long does it take to get rides? Average wait time in 900 rides is about 20 to 30 minutes. Probably had more weird stuff happen being in the USA than any other country. Honestly, my weirdest stuff, like some of the strangest rides I've got have just been in Canada. Just like the drugs and stuff like that. Canada. Houses, stores, or cars on fire. I've seen forests on fire, but not cars or houses. How long does it take to climb Everest? We don't just get to base camp and climb it. Looks like we got one. I'm headed up into Michigan some amount, down to 69, and then I'm headed west to Lake Michigan. Whereabouts are you headed to?
Yeah, I can get you the
Land? Oh, that's well up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, anywhere north would help me out.
Yeah.
I might get a little earlier because I haven't decided my route yet. Going through all 50 states right now, but anywhere that way would help me out. Now I'm documenting the process of hitchhiking, so I have a camera on me. It doesn't have to be on you, but I do have a camera on me.
Is it legal? Yeah, you can jump in there.
Yeah. Bag in the back seat?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Just need one thing. Alright, so thank you for grabbing me. Is it okay with the camera, or do you want it out the front window? One of the two.
So what are you gonna do, a documentary or something?
Yeah, I've been hitchhiking around the U.S. for, this is actually day 100. Been to 38 states. I'm just showing what hitchhiking's like. I've hitchhiked in 25 countries now, and
wow.
that was before I documented it.
Okay.
But now I decided to show people what it's like. So I've been all around doing it this way. I'll just point at the front.
Continue on I-69.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Oh, it's just at the front now.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay? Alright. I really appreciate you grabbing me, though.
So where'd you start?
Washington State.
That's where you live, or?
I'm from
Just where you
Canada.
started.
I'm from near Vancouver.
Oh.
And then I crossed, took a ferry from Victoria on Vancouver Island to Port Angeles, Washington. And started down the west coast, Washington, Oregon, California. And now, oh, actually, right here. This is important.
Welcome to Michigan.
Hold up. Alright, 39 states.
There you go.
We made it. I'm excited.
How many days? 100 days?
100 days now. And this is the 5th ride today. Started in Indianapolis.
That's where I came from.
Today? Oh, okay. Do you live in Indianapolis? Or Lansing?
Nope, I live in Lansing, but we have an office in Indy, so I'm back and forth.
Oh, okay. What type of industry are you in?
It's check processing,
Okay.
payment processing.
Payment processing.
It's called Lockbox. It's an outsourcing function. So
Okay.
that, companies that still send bills out in the mail, and people that actually still write checks to make that payment,
Mm-hmm.
so that the companies don't have to receive those in the mail and open it, and go to
Okay.
the bank and do all that. We do a lot. We do that for them with high speed openers, imagers, and electronic deposits. So
Oh, okay. Interesting.
kind of take their transaction, make it as paper-free and electronic for them as we can.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, they post it back to their accounts receivable. Off
There you
they go. So, yeah.
Interesting.
And
So-
you were a student or just...
So I was, after high school, went off to college. I'm an accounting finance major. And then I didn't feel like finishing that at that point. Getting my degree, getting my CPA, my Chartered Professional Accountancy designation, and getting a real job, potentially some real responsibilities, wife, kids, house, car. Then I can't do what I'm doing right now. So I decided to do some traveling, and I spent the past 4 years either working or going on long hitchhiking trips.
Apparently it's fairly effective.
You can get around pretty quick if you present yourself in a decent way, because that's all someone has to base off whether they're gonna pick you up or not. Is how you present yourself, what you look like. So,
Have you tried other looks?
I just try to look clean.
Have you tried
I haven't tried different
more
styles.
harmless to see if you get picked up?
I haven't.
That'd be
I
interesting.
should try just to like dirty myself up, just to see what the average wait time turns into. But I might get a little sad because my average wait time right now is in the 20-30 minute range. Where if I bump those numbers up to a 2 to 3 hour range, then you're just doing a lot of standing around doing nothing.
Sure.
Yeah. But I think it would be fun to try different styles and just see how they work and how people respond to them.
So what do you do at night?
I have a one-man tent, and I'll walk into the bushes and do that. That's on most trips. I'll spend maybe 90% of my nights in the tent, and then occasionally I'll get a place to stay. On this trip, with the documentation and stuff like that, I've built up a community, and quite often there's people that watch what I make in the cities I end up in, so they'll offer me a place to stay and stuff like that. So that's added.
Following you live, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they'll offer me a place to stay. So I'll get to. On this trip, I've stayed inside a lot more often than any other trip I've been on, which is a luxury, definitely, when you're hitchhiking. You get to shower, you get to shave, and
Sure.
that's why I got to, be clean today, because I stayed at a viewer's place last night in Indianapolis.
Okay. So it's a channel.
Yeah. My channel's called Hitch Live.
Very cool.
Have you picked up any hitchhikers before?
No. I mean, I've picked up. I've stopped to help people with their car, with their vehicle disabled. Like, so I guess I have, but usually it turns out that it's somebody walking to get gas, or
Oh, okay.
their car broke down and they're walking down the road, so I'll stop and see what they need, and you run them to the gas station and back to the car or whatever. But I don't know that I've ever had a real live hitchhiker before.
A real live hitchhiker? So you've had a real not live hitchhiker before.
Well,
I see how it is. I see how it is.
I mean, you have a specific mission for a long term, where they're usually, like, I just got to get to the gas station at the next exit, and I'm going to get back to my car, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand.
That's why I think, at one time I ended up in Lansing, ended up taking a guy, but I didn't know it, but he lived in Lansing, and his car broke down, but he didn't have the means to call a tow truck or something, so he was just leaving his car there. But
Oh, okay.
so when I picked him up, turns out, again, 15 minutes later, I had him at his house.
Oh, yeah.
That was the end of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Now, Lansing. What's in Lansing? I don't know anything about it.
it's the capital of Michigan.
Oh, it's the capital of Michigan. Okay.
But and you can, depends on what you want to see and if you want to go, you're coming up 69, so you're coming right up into the middle of the lower peninsula of Michigan, which is Lansing.
Yeah.
Detroit's going to be to the east, and then Grand Rapids is going to be to the west.
Okay.
But running across 69 converges in Lansing with 96. And 69 is going to take you to the east. Actually, takes you to Port Huron, which is the bridge over to Canada.
Yeah.
Or if you take 96 west, then you end up
Through Grand Rapids, yeah.
Grand Haven or Holland or Muskegon on a lake there.
Yeah. Because, my choice right now is I'd either probably get out near the Battle Creek area and head...
On 94?
Yeah, on 94. And head west that way. Because I'm coming into Michigan now to knock off State 39, but then I gotta hit Illinois. Otherwise, I kind of thought it'd be cool to take the ferry across to... from where is that?
Well, you can go out of Muskegon, or
There's
you go to Ludington. There's ferry in Keene.
Oh, really?
So you'd hit
Oh, okay.
Wisconsin.
Okay, because I still haven't hit Illinois. Is my because I need to touch there. So I'm like,
Milwaukee's like an hour and a half.
so I'd go down then back up.
I mean, depending on where you're gonna. Are you probably still heading east, or what? What states are you not?
I haven't hit. So I'm more heading west now. I haven't hit Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, South and North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Utah, Nevada, and then Alaska and Hawaii, and that's pretty much. I think
Then you're done.
that's
So
it.
Oops. Come on, Eric. You've been all through the east.
All through the whole eastern seaboard has been
Yeah, I don't know.
completed.
I mean, traveling on a ferry across Lake Michigan, it's kind of a cool thing.
Is it? Yeah.
Whatever you
Up to the side.
cross one of the Great Lakes, but it would dumps you into Milwaukee, which of course is right on the lake, and so is Chicago. So then you head south. Like I say, it's maybe an hour and a half drive, and then you're into Chicago basically.
Okay.
And then from there, if you head west, and then you've got jump up into, you said Minnesota you need to hit.
Yep.
So you can get into Minnesota, and then you've hit Iowa already.
Yeah.
So North and South Dakota, and then Montana.
So once I get Illinois and Wisconsin out, like the route's pretty clear.
Yeah, Minnesota. Just on your way back. So.
Like that's all makes sense. It's just right now I'm like, which route should I take? Yeah.
I guess that's just Illinois, and then Wisconsin, Minnesota.
So yeah, that was my initial thought because I didn't even know there was a ferry from Muskegon to Milwaukee. Muskegon. Okay. Because I saw one from Ludington up to.
Ludington's a slow.
Oh, okay.
It takes longer. The one out of Muskegon is. I've taken it, over and back. I had a business conference over there, and it was in Milwaukee, and I think it took
Yeah.
But, I do
But that
know
one would
it's
be a
just-
long ferry.
It's a slower.
Yeah.
It's a slower boat. It's an older type boat.
Okay.
So favorite states? What have you?
My favorites so far have been the whole Pacific Northwest, like Washington, Oregon, California. I went down Highway 101 and one for a little bit, like right on the Pacific, and that was pretty spectacular coastline. And the small towns along that coastal highway are very friendly, and they're just nice. Also, Colorado was nice. The Outer Banks of North Carolina stood out to me, like Ocracoke, Hatteras, and stuff like that. Those are some cool places. And I really like New England, like Northeast, Vermont, New Hampshire. It's just beautiful green mountains. I like it out there. Because people are always like, "What's your favorite state?" I'm like, "You're not going to get a clean answer."
Well, yeah.
I pretty much have all the coasts and all the areas represented, except for not too much of the Southeast because it was too hot and humid, and that it's hard to breathe.
This time of year it is.
Yeah.
December, January, February. It's
Yeah.
not so bad.
Yeah.
Down there.
And yeah, that's a good time to be down there because they don't really have a rough winter.
This felt like that.
Yeah.
A week
Oh,
ago,
well, yeah.
Humidity here.
The whole east was. I was in Boston. Well, that might be 2 weeks ago now. It was with the heat index, the humidity. It was 116. It was like, ugh, it felt horrible.
So do you sell subscriptions then, or does YouTube pay you?
So I'm on a website called Twitch TV, which is all live streams, and there's a couple ways of monetizing your channel if you want to. You can enable donations, so mine are enabled, and if people want to donate, they can donate. It's not required. It doesn't get you anything. It's more of like you want to voluntarily donate to the streamer, you can. And then you can also subscribe to the channel, which is a monthly recurring subscription, which also supports the channel financially.
And it's just the whole thing's live, so somebody would just be listening to this conversation.
Exactly. Does that make you feel strange?
Well, it makes me wonder what they're. It seems like they would have something, and not to knock on what you're doing, but
Yeah.
not saying I don't look at YouTube.
Well, they're curious what hitchhiking's like because everyone knows what hitchhiking is, but no one does it anymore. So they want to know the different types of people that will pick up hitchhikers because they think hitchhiking's like well, not everyone. I can't say they and generalize it that much, but people think hitchhiking is like playing Russian roulette when you hitchhike.
Well, either way, right?
Yeah.
You're taking a chance getting in a vehicle, and the person letting you in is.
Yep, both people are taking a chance
chance.
on a stranger. But it's not as dangerous as people make it out to be.
Sure.
Is my point. 900 rides, 25 countries. Can't say I've met a bad person doing it. The worst people I've ever met in my life have been drunk people at bars.
Right.
Which, yeah.
Well, I got off to get gas at that exit, and I saw you when I was, because I turned left to go get gas, and I saw you there.
Yeah.
And then I was getting gas, and I'm debating, I wonder what his needs are. I wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
Should I pick him up? Should I not pick him up? And I said, and then my decision was, well, if he's going north on 69, I'll pick him up.
Yeah.
If he's looking to go, somewhere else, then I guess that would have been a pretty, because you're sitting on that. But I think 80, 90 was right around there somewhere.
Was it?
Maybe we just passed that. I was thinking if you were trying to go.
Because I was trying to make it clear, like I'm just going down Highway 69. I was on the northbound on ramp, so I'm like
so
north down 69.
I guess I had just passed 80, 90.
Oh, okay.
Which would have, well, that wouldn't have gotten you to Michigan, but would have gotten you to Illinois and then up to Wisconsin.
Okay, yeah.
That route.
Yeah.
You would have missed Michigan unless you went. I mean, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is.
Yeah, I've heard it's very nice.
Up by Green Bay. So.
Yeah. The difficulty is there's so many beautiful places, and I'd like to take some more rural routes, and going along the Upper Peninsula would be cool. But I run this whole thing off of the cellular network, and I'm guessing cell reception up in the Upper Peninsula will be in the area is pretty non-existent. So just there'd be I wouldn't be creating anything. I still hitchhike. Every other trip I've done has been with no documentation, just me enjoying it. I like hitchhiking. but the purpose of this trip is to show people what it's like. So
You're promoting it.
well, I'm not trying to get
In a
people to
sense.
do it, but I'm showing that it isn't the.
It can be done, right?
Yeah, it can be done, and it can
safely
be.
done.
Yeah, it can actually be a positive way of transporting yourself from A to B. You meet some really cool people along the way. You kind of are exposed to situations that you'd never be exposed to if you were driving your own car around. Like I go places I would never have chosen to go to, but people are like, "Hey, I'm going here. Do you want to tag along?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure."
Do you? Are you gonna hitchhike to Alaska then, or are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
and try to hitchhike to Hawaii. If not, then I'll fly to Hawaii and hitchhike around the island.
So Hawaii, like hitch a ride on a boat or something, or?
That would be probably the easiest way, and that would take probably 2 weeks or something like that. But my goal, my dream, is so I got picked up by one guy in California, and he's a private pilot, and he taught me how to hitchhike on airplanes, and now I've hitchhiked on 5 airplanes on this trip.
Like commercial airlines or just
Private planes.
Private?
Yeah. Now that's cool, and like I love flying, so that's really cool for me. But those are just small, like single engine planes for the most part, and one King Air 250, which is a dual engine plane. And now to go to Hawaii from the west coast, that's more like 2,500 miles. My longest flight was like 400 miles, so it's a complete different kind of flight on completely different kinds of airplanes that can actually make that hop. And the people that are flying that route are probably less likely to want to take me along. That might be a generalization, but
It's worth a try.
those flights are just very expensive for anyone paying for a private flight out to Hawaii. Yeah.
Also, it'd be more like a private party than chartered plane.
It would either be a privately owned jet where someone's just like, hey, I feel like going to Hawaii, and then they go there, or it could be a chartered flight. But man, a chartered flight, both a private plane and a chartered flight would be just so much money. But I guess if you have that much money where you're thinking about chartering a plane, like at that point, money is probably inconsequential on a day-to-day basis.
So what kind? You said you've hitchhiked 4 countries?
25.
25 countries.
Yes.
Wow.
A lot of those numbers are Europe, small countries,
Okay.
smallish continent. But then I've also hitchhiked across Russia from the Latvian-Russian border to Vladivostok, across Japan, Australia, from the east coast to west coast. But
Do you speak any other languages?
not to the point I'd say I speak them. I just try to be, like, learn a couple words to be polite, so you don't just immediately start speaking English. But past that point, I don't. Like, I struggle. Like, Russia was a difficult country language-wise, because I only met 2 people that could speak English in 10,000 kilometers, so 6,000 miles. I only met 2 people that could speak English. So in Moscow, I picked up a mobile data sim, and we'd use Google Voice Translate to have a basic conversation. It's fairly robotic. It mistranslates things all the time, but you can get a point across, where before you couldn't really get any point across. I did find the Russian language difficult to pick up. People tried to teach me because we had a lot of time sitting in the car together. Like,
Sure.
it's a big country, but I even struggled with trying to like repeat after me kind of things. Just they say things differently, so that was a bit of a struggle.
So were you able to kind of derive what their motivation? I mean, I guess when they see you, they don't know that you're from Canada or.
Yeah, like kind of how like if a Russian person pulled over, I'd be like, "Я с канадский, и еду автостоп in Vladivostok." Like I'm from Canada, I'm hitchhiking to Vladivostok, and I learned enough to say like please and thank you, yes and no, and stuff like that. But yeah, like we couldn't have much more of an actual conversation past that point unless we're directly going through a translator.
Is it common for them to see hitchhikers though?
Hitchhiking's pretty common in Russia.
Is it? Okay.
Not for Canadians to be,
Right, but I mean,
or foreigners in general. It's always Russian people.
People that are stopping are probably used to doing it with some consistency then.
Yeah, and then in Russia, Russian was one of the few countries where they know what the thumb is for hitchhiking.
Okay.
But the people that hitchhike there locally, they kind of do it with a flat hand and kind of wave it up and down like that, kind of like flagging down a car almost. But I still use my thumb because I'm like, they can tell I'm not from here. I'm just gonna continue with the image that I'm a tourist hitchhiking across here, and hitchhiking was quick. I got rides and I got long rides, but still, 10,000 kilometers, 6,000 miles. It's a long drive. It's a long drive.
Wow. But that was multiple.
Oh yeah, that was 3 weeks of hitchhiking with, I forget how many rides. I have a ride log from that trip, but I don't remember off the top of my head. That whole trip was, my goal on that trip was to hitchhike around the world, so across Canada, all around Europe, to Russia, across Russia, and then across Japan, and then back home. And that was 311 rides on that trip to do that. But
How
just
many
America.
flights?
Oh, on that one, I flew from Eastern Canada, from St. John's to Dublin, Ireland, and I took a ferry from Ireland to Wales, took ferries up to Shetland Island in northern Scotland, a flight from Shetland Islands to Bergen, Norway, and I didn't fly again until Vladivostok on the east coast, and that was from Vlad to Fukuoka, southern Japan, and then flew back from Tokyo to Vancouver. Yeah. So it was hitchhiking around the world except for the oceans. Was my definition. I'd be like, yeah, I hitchhiked around the world. They'd be like, well, what did you do about the oceans? So I always add that asterisk to the end. I'm sure it's been done before. I bet someone's hitchhiked around the world and hitchhiked across the oceans too. I know people have hitchhiked across the oceans. It's been done. It's just a little difficult, and most of the time that's on like a private sailboat or something like that, and that person has to trust you. Even if it's a decent-sized sailboat, like you're in a pretty small confined area with someone, so it's not the same. It's a whole different level of commitment than just pulling over and driving someone a couple miles down the road.
Right.
You're like, yeah, let's get in the same boat together for a month.
Right. Sleeping, food, everything.
Yeah. I do like, I find it funny when people pick me up and they drive like a decent pace on the road, and then you drive past the people who drove past you while you're hitchhiking.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any negative feelings about people that pick me up hitchhiking. I just find it funny to drive past them again. So I saw you had a bike.
Yep.
Yeah. You do a decent amount of biking?
I enjoy that. I enjoy it. There's a decent trail, a couple decent trails right by, within 5-6 miles of the hotel I stay in down there.
Yeah.
So, yep, I'll take it down and if we get a chance, right?
Yep. Did you get a chance on this trip?
I did. Yep, I went last night. I came down here, let's say Thursday. I came down late Tuesday night, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and then back home tonight.
Yeah. How often do you make this trip?
Well, we purchased that company. It's a company that we purchased. Same type of businesses that we're in up in Michigan. We purchased that company 2 years ago in May.
Yep.
And at the time of the purchase, I pretty much committed, 5 days a week from May until May, June, July, and then I cut down to 4 days a week and kind of weaned off from there. Now there's a lot going on right now, so I've been back and forth pretty much every week. But before that, I was like twice a month I would go down. That was more the long-term consistency would be more I go down there a couple times a month.
Okay. How long is that total drive? Like one way?
If things go really well, it's 3.5 hours.
Okay.
If it could turn into 5 depending on traffic.
Yeah.
But 7:30 is my expected time home to my house. I think I left at 3 o'clock, I think.
Okay.
I don't even remember exactly.
It's a decent drive, but it's not horrible.
Yeah. No, most of it's on 69. I mean, 69 is right into Indy. Well, you were there.
Yeah, I took it the whole way.
So, and it keeps, like I say, it keeps going up into Lansing, and then just north of Lansing, and turns east and goes right into Port Huron. And then, I don't know what it does after that, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what's across the. Is it Sarnia? I forget. Anyway, we've driven that way over to Toronto on the Canadian side. Upper Peninsula, and then from Port Huron over, and then I guess I've been down the Detroit area over to Windsor. I've been into Canada, and I grew up in Utah, but spent a lot of time in Oregon with my grandparents. My brother lives in Washington, but never gone up into Vancouver, British Columbia, Calgary, any of
Yeah.
those areas there.
Yeah, that's
Do some mountain biking.
being outside out west is a good area to be in, for sure. And the U.
New Mexico, North Dakota. I forget. I used to know that. West. I think maybe even less than that. Oh, Alaska. I've been to Hawaii, but not Alaska.
Yeah.
So there's maybe
In there. Yeah.
Georgia. Or I haven't been to Alabama. Or wait, no, I don't think I've been to Alabama. But I've been to Arkansas, Florida, Georgia,
Okay.
North and South Carolina.
Were those mostly trips for your own leisure, or is that to do with work?
Most of my travels have either been for work. Well, I guess it's a combination. Some vacations, some work, a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then running races. I used to run quite a bit. I bike now more than I run, but so I travel around
Yeah.
and do races, different states. My dad lives in California. My mom lives in Utah.
Oh yeah. Those are some nice states
Brother in
to spend some
Washington.
time.
Brother in Montana. Visits and traveling, either driving to California from Utah or driving up to Oregon from Utah, driving,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And then when I first moved out here to Michigan, I would drive back and forth to Utah,
Yeah.
which basically 80, so you're getting, like, you were in, you leave Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska,
Mm-hmm.
and Wyoming and Utah. But I've taken that northern up 90, which you'll probably end up getting on 90, at least part of it. You go Wisconsin, you come out of on 90, you come up out of Chicago, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then it goes into South Dakota. Oh,
Okay.
I said I haven't been to North Dakota, I've been to South Dakota. So we made that trip, but then from Mount Rushmore, the Black Hills, we dropped down into Wyoming to go, well, to get to Utah, but also to go see my grandma, so I could go down that way. But yeah, the Black Hills, if you get a chance, I don't know what route you'll take, because you got to pick up North Dakota as well. But
Mm-hmm.
the Black Hills, pretty worth the trip for me.
Black Hills, yeah.
That's one of my favorite stops.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore and the Black Hills. It's just it's an old growth forest, and I don't know, just something about those mountains that I really connected with.
Yeah. There's so much I want to see, and there's a lot of places I'm missing on this trip because, like, it's a very large country, and I've got 180 days I'm allowed to be here as a Canadian.
Okay.
And you just can't see everything in that amount of time. And I don't want to burn all 180 days because I have to come back in the U.S. for October for like a convention and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna, and I'm taking the most logical route at this point through the rest of the 50 states, and then going back to Canada. and then, but I'm gonna miss some beautiful places. Definitely.
Now this is 94.
Okay.
We'll take you to Battle Creek if you.
Let's just go to Lansing. Sure.
You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, well, yeah, I guess it's roughly an hour further north.
An hour. Yeah.
And then you would pick up. But yeah, I mean, you could come back down to 94.
If I wanted to. Yeah.
But 94 gets you to Kalamazoo. But then it's going to cut south. But sounds like you want to see Lake Michigan. But you could see Lake Michigan from Chicago too. Or
That's true.
Gary, Indiana.
I heard Gary's not the nicest place, but
It's industrial. Yeah. So.
but
The
I don't know,
lakes all-
your idea of taking the ferry across does sound interesting, the fast ferry, and then just zip down to Chicago or something for a day, and then head back up into Wisconsin. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah. I don't think you'd be disappointed. And 96 going into Grand Rapids, there's a lot of traffic going back and forth. And once you get to Grand Rapids, to then get over to like Muskegon,
Yep.
I don't see that as being a problem. And there's still a lot of traffic that's going back and forth there. So
Yeah.
you'll be fine with that.
So with Lansing being the capital and stuff, is there a fair amount of things to do, or is it a fairly big city? I honestly just don't know anything about
It's
it.
probably 100,000 roughly. It's not a big
For a
city.
capital city, it's pretty small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's not a lot. I mean, we've got Lansing, and then East Lansing. East Lansing is Michigan State University. And they're really right. They're right there together, but obviously the university's a big draw. But no, I don't know. There's not. I don't see Lansing as a destination city.
No. Okay.
Even Detroit and Grand Rapids would be more.
Would you consider Detroit a destination city, because it's kind of fallen off the map as far as like cities people want to go to in the past
You're right.
10
yeah.
plus years?
Oh, or more, yeah.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it's on the rise to some extent again. We have a small office down there,
Yeah.
and so we're seeing the kind of the growth and the comeback. There's Dan Gilbert, Quicken Loans. He's putting a lot of money into downtown Detroit. But yeah, no, it's been a slow. I mean, the Super Bowl was there a number of years ago.
Yep.
They really had to heat the town up to make it look. But and then the Little Caesars guy, he owns the Red Wings and the Tigers, I think. He's putting a lot of money back into. They built a new stadium, so Ford Field is right downtown there now. So it used to be the Pontiac Silverdome was in Pontiac. That's where the Lions played.
Yep.
And they've moved to Ford Field, which is right downtown Detroit now. And then Pistons were in Auburn Hills, which is another suburb of Detroit. And they've moved back down and joined. So the Red Wings and the Pistons have a new facility that's right downtown. It's not far from so basically you have the Lions, the Tigers, the Red Wings, and the Pistons all in that same kind of general downtown area now. There's casinos down there now. There's three casinos down there. But then you still have Greektown, you still have some more authentic old Detroit style stuff down there. But yeah, I mean, you're right, it's still not, people aren't flocking to Detroit, but it's come back.
But it's recovered
It's
from what it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's rebounding
Yeah.
quite a bit. But it's still, as far as things to do, not that you would necessarily, somebody from Arizona says, boy, I want to travel out and go to Detroit, like you would go to New York or Boston or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're here, there's far more to do in Detroit than there is to do in Lansing.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Grand
Without having to go
Rapids is-
way out of your way.
Grand Rapids would be more cosmopolitan type city as well. Going west. So. Anyway.
So you're in Lansing for work then, right now?
I live and work in. Yeah, I live on
But
the
you
west
moved
side.
there because of work?
Well,
or
no. I grew I was born in Oregon, grew up in Utah.
Oregon, okay.
Yeah, Corvallis, Oregon. But
Yeah.
my parents left there when I was about 3, moved to Utah, and so that's where I grew up, and I'm a Mormon.
Yeah.
So Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I served a 2-year mission, and when you serve a mission for the church, you basically fill out your application and submit your paperwork.
Yeah.
And then you could go anywhere in the world. I mean, one of my best friends went to South Dakota. One of my best friends went to Colombia. One went to Argentina.
Yeah.
My brother went to the Canary Islands.
Oh.
And I went to Michigan. So you don't know where you're gonna.
They choose where you're going?
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
sounds like they went to really cool places and nothing to say anything bad about Michigan. Canary Islands or Michigan.
yeah, but I mean, and then, the list. I mean, my nephews. One of my nephews went to Mexico. His brother went to Washington
Yeah.
State. And it could be anywhere. My one brother-in-law went to Chile, and another one went to, where did he go? Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, you just, wherever. But anyway, you go. So that's how I came to Michigan and spent 2 years as a missionary in Michigan, and then met my wife while I was out here, and so I finished my mission. We started corresponding, and then I came back out.
Okay.
We got married and stayed here. And that's where she was born and raised in Lansing, so that's.
Oh, okay. So that's her
how I
home.
ended up
Yeah.
there. And she's lived pretty much her entire. She spent some time in Boston, but
Mm-hmm.
when she was going to school, but that's where she spent the rest of her life has been in Lansing. So
Yeah.
that's where we are.
And you guys think you'll stay in Lansing for the long term? Or
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have children and grandchildren now in the area, so
children and grandchildren?
I don't want to. I don't have any desire to. I mean, as far as geography and climate,
Yeah.
I would choose the western states, a mountainous
Yeah.
region. That would be my ideal. But my wife loves the Great Lakes,
Mm-hmm.
Michigan, and we love our grandchildren more than any of that. So that trumps it all.
How many children do you have?
2 daughters.
2 daughters?
Yeah, and 7 grandchildren.
Wow. How old are your kids?
Oldest daughter's 40. Our younger daughter is, and they're not my biological daughters. But
Oh,
our
okay.
younger daughter is 37.
Okay. 7 grandchildren.
Yeah, they range from 19 to 3.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Got a full family. What do your daughters do?
They both work for their father,
Okay.
and he's a car dealer. So one of them runs a car dealership, and then he has a bunch of rental properties. So our other daughter manages his rental properties
Okay.
for him. And what's your family size?
Yeah, I've got a decent sized split family. So I've got one sister, biological sister, then 2 stepsisters, 2 stepbrothers, one of each gender on each side of the family. Stepmom, stepdad. Yeah, we're all in British Columbia, Canada, split between Vancouver Island, like right on the coast, and the Okanagan, Kelowna in central British Columbia. Everyone, well, the furthest away is in Grande Prairie, Alberta, which is one province over. So we're mostly in a pretty tight area there. Well, the road conditions have gone down a little bit.
Yes, at 69. It seems like they're always working on 69 in Indiana.
Yeah. Well, you do have rough winters here, which do kind of kill the roads, right? Yeah.
And the change of temperatures and
The freeze-thaw cycle, yeah.
And then there's also, salt, considerable amount. I'm taking a little bit of a detour.
Okay.
But we'll still, this is just,
To get around traffic, it's probably taking you?
no, I also, I do some real estate as well. It's
Yeah.
my day job. So, there's a property that I was going to go look at and take some pictures of.
Oh, okay.
Which is just, it's in Charlotte, Michigan, which is what we're approaching here.
Okay.
And then, but anyway, it's still on, so we'll get off 69 briefly. I don't know, to get to my house, I'm not sure we'll get back on 69, but I live right off of, I live a couple miles off of 69.
Okay.
Then take the first left.
Are you, like, your goal would be to do travel at night too?
I don't hitchhike at night. Once I get to Lansing, I'll probably figure out accommodation stuff for the night and stay there and go west tomorrow.
South Gator Road.
Yeah.
So do people, like, contact you?
Yeah, from the stream, yeah. They'll contact me if they live in the area and figure something out. But yeah, if you're like looking to buy a house, I'm gonna like change the camera so they can't see the place you're thinking of purchasing, just for your own privacy's sake and stuff like that. It would get to something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, that
So
would be-
just let me know when you're getting close to there, and
Okay.
I'll turn the video off for that part. How far down? I guess it'll tell me. 3.7 miles.
Continue on South Gator Road.
Yeah, that's not. It's not
Oh.
a 5 point, but
Yeah, anyone watching? We might lose cell service as we get a bit more rural, but we'll be cut in and out.
who do you have?
For cell, Verizon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, northern Indiana. It gets a little. I mean, I'll drop calls in northern Indiana quite a bit. But
Yeah, coming up through northern Indiana, it was pretty bad. You're on Verizon as well?
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for me at all to drop calls in that stretch there. But up in here, it should be pretty good.
Okay. It really depends on how much they've invested in their cell tower things. Just usually along the interstate, things stay half decent. They invest to keep that connected, but once you leave it, it's a coin toss whether they've put any money. Road though, like when the trees.
So do you just eat fast food, or do you cook?
I eat a lot of fast food, yeah. I don't have cooking equipment with me. I don't bring a camp stove or anything. Extra space and weight. And I just eat at grocery stores, fast food. Sometimes I'll eat it at a restaurant if I feel like it. This has been a trip where I've spent a bit more money on a day-to-day basis than any other trip. On most trips, I'm very, very frugal. I would never go out to eat. Like, I would just never. On this one, I'm like, yeah, sure. You know what? I'm gonna spoil myself.
So what's you have a job waiting, or you just find a job when you get back?
I just find a new job when I get back.
So whatever, is there a certain skill set that you market, or?
Outdoor experience. So I work in the outdoor industry, sell stuff to make you comfortable outside. Is mostly what I've done the past 4 years.
Like for an outfitter, or like as a rep for a company?
Outfitter, yeah.
Okay.
That's given me the opportunity to do some interesting trips because I'll get free or really cheap outdoor equipment. Like I hitchhiked to the Canadian Arctic the other winter to do some ice road hitchhiking and stuff, where like the gear you need to stay comfortable in those climates outside and sleep outside and to carry them on your back, it's pretty pricey. Like, so I wouldn't be able to afford that. It's an interesting space to stop on a blind hill.
At the end of the street, turn right.
So this was a place you're thinking about buying?
No, it's I'm doing an evaluation on the property
Oh, okay.
for a company.
Okay.
Turn right on West 5 Point Highway, then take the first left.
And again, just give me a heads up when you want the video to be cut as far as privacy goes. 2 miles still.
Yeah, it's still a ways.
Okay.
Turn right on
It's
West
on,
Lava Highway.
it's on a street called Bradley.
Okay.
So just kind of winding our way over there.
Cool.
So you're back in October for a work convention, or
Yeah, so I stream on Twitch, and it's called TwitchCon in San Jose. Streamers. I think it'll be pretty fun.
that's San Jose's up by San Francisco.
Yeah, right, south of San Francisco. I've never been to a convention before. Have you been to some? Yeah. A lot with work? Or
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about a lot, but I've seen
In 3/4
number
of a
of-
mile, turn right on West Kalama Highway.
different work conventions,
yeah.
church conventions, some. We went to Tony Robbins. You know, some kind of that self-help. You might even call it leadership.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know who Tony Robbins is?
Name sounds familiar, but I
Yeah,
couldn't.
He's a motivational speaker, I guess.
Okay.
He's the you go and he's the guy that has you walk across fire and you walk on hot coals.
Yeah.
Turn right on West Kalama Highway.
That was in LA actually.
Oh yeah.
I guess most of them have been work related though.
What did you take in school?
Turn left on South Chester.
Like post-secondary?
My bachelor's
Yeah.
degree is it's a Bachelor of Science in Administration,
Yeah.
and I'm actually in the master's program at Michigan State right now.
Oh really?
So I'm getting my MBA.
Oh cool.
3/4 of a mile,
So
turn
it's
left
an
on
executive
South
program,
Chester
so it's
Road.
weekend, every other weekend. Average age student, 35-year-old. I'm on the upper, I'm 50, so I'm on the upper I'm on the upper age, but there's a few people in my class that maybe a couple that are mid-20s, but they want you to at least have 5 years of business and leadership experience before you to get into the program. So it's like I say, I'd say the more common age is probably about mid-30s.
And at the end of that, is there something with your current company that like it'll kind of help you get towards, or would you be looking for an executive position? Kind of.
I have one already.
Oh, you have one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more of just a personal
Okay.
decision to go back and do something I wanted to do but never did a long time ago. So.
Yeah.
In 2 miles, turn left on Lawrence Highway.
For interstate stuff, I just can't be on the highway itself.
Okay,
so behind where I was standing was a sign that said no pedestrians, bicycles, whatever, a few different things. I just can't stand past that sign. So it's out of necessity, but also like I understand you shouldn't be on a 3, 4, 5 lane interstate on the side of the road with your thumb out when people go flying past at 70, 80 miles an hour.
Good idea.
It's just not smart. And the nice thing about on-ramp is people are going slow. Usually there's a decent shoulder where they can safely pull over. And ideally, like at the one you were at, there's just 1 lane of traffic. So it's a safer way to do it. And it gives people an opportunity to pull over going 10 to 20 miles an hour rather than 60, 70, 80.
Yeah, I was just thinking about for you to get to Grand Rapids.
For location to find a ride? Yeah.
Your location for
because it's interstate going out of Lansing west, right?
But the one off kind of my exit is Cloverleaf. And if you were on that on-ramp, which is north, but it's 69, 96, and then within about 2 miles, then 96 goes west and 69 splits off to go east. So getting in somebody's car right there, you really, pretty much they're committed to go one way or the other, but you don't know which, you wouldn't know which way yet they were, you know what I mean? And then do you have, in the morning there would be a lot of people going to work, which would be
out to Grand Rapids and stuff?
Well, you might catch somebody, but I mean most people there probably would just be jumping on and going somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, like from my experience hitchhiking, the morning rush hour isn't the best time to do it because everyone is going to work and quite often a little strapped for time.
Sure.
And the last thing they feel like doing is picking up a hitchhiker and taking on that extra burden. I find from between 6:30 and 9 a.m. I'm like, why even hitchhike sometimes? Depending on it totally depends where you are. Yeah. But if it's like a popular commuter route, everyone's just going to work and no one wants to pick anyone up. After 9, then it's more just regular traffic.
Do you ever try truck stops or?
Yeah, sometimes. The problem being most trucking companies have banned their drivers from picking up hitchhikers or anyone in general. It's not a hitchhiker thing, it's a insurance liability thing for anyone that's not the insured truck driver or truck. Just if there's an accident of some kind, the company is concerned that they'd be liable for damages. So they just ban them. So you'd have to find an owner-operator or someone who doesn't care about the rules, or the rare company that will allow their drivers to pick up people. But for the most part, it's banned.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left on South Bradley Road.
So just for privacy of the location, I spun the camera around, and I'm gonna, when we get close, I'm just gonna make the video black. So, just, okay, yeah. So video's going black.
Turn left onto the unpaved road.
Are we keeping the video or the audio live?
I can cut it if you'd like.
36 South Bradley Road on the right.
I was just just
Oh, just for your own curiosity of whether.
to see what I should say to you or not say to you.
Oh.
Explain to you what I'm doing.
Oh, do you want to explain to me? I can cut
It's
it.
up to you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me.
We're just gonna cut the audio so he can explain to me what he's doing for his own privacy. Alright, we are back.
I guess we are gonna go back up 16.
Okay.
Taking the back roads.
Oh, okay.
So do you lose viewers when you go dark?
Usually it's for a few minutes like that. They're fine, and they're more curious with anything because none of them hitchhiked before. So like the video goes dark in a ride hitchhiking, everyone's like, "Oh my god, what happened?"
Make sure you come back.
Yeah. So there's like some suspense, even though this is a fine situation. But them, they're gonna freak out.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we've got to fly in here now. Perfect. So have you noticed different kind of cultural cliques in the U.S.? Or I mean, you said the people on PCH were friendly in the small towns.
Yeah. But I think you kind of find that in small towns everywhere. The thing that made the Pacific Northwest stand out was just the geography, the coastline and stuff like that. So it was a combination of really kind people and beautiful scenery. Like you will know some cultural differences definitely between like the south and the northeast and stuff like that, which is kind of cool to go between. You definitely have that kind of southern hospitality, I guess. That southern charm, which is fun to be around. But people in the northeast are kind as well. They're just kind of a less in your face kind of way, I guess. But yeah, it's nothing too crazy. Do you have a favorite state that you've been to?
You think I don't know if where you grow up is just kind of
Yeah.
home, but anywhere where there's again the mountains. But my brother he's in Ellensburg, which is central Washington. He used to live in Seattle, and then again I spent a lot of time in Portland. But so there's aspects of the pine trees and some things up there that are great, but
Yeah.
or I would probably be looking, if I were going to look again from a geographical standpoint of where I would want to live, I probably would be looking at like Utah, mountainous northern Arizona, Flagstaff,
Yeah.
Colorado,
Flagstaff's beautiful. Yeah. Sedona and stuff there. Yeah.
that sort of thing, as opposed to like Phoenix is just too hot for me. I don't think
I'm with you there. Yeah. Yeah, I drove from Phoenix through Flagstaff and stuff in one day, and it was crazy how much the climate changed in it's like 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't remember how long it is of a drive, but
Yeah, I think it's less than 3 from the Grand Canyon to Phoenix. I think
Yeah.
it is. So, but yeah, there's different parts of Oregon that are nice, mountainous, and more of a when I was little, I liked snow a lot more than I do now, kind of thing.
mhm.
I don't think it would break my heart if I didn't have a lot of snow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the same situation for me. I'm from British Columbia, Canada, and that will always be my home. It's my favorite province, and I love seeing the world. I could see myself spending a couple months to a year in some other place to just, I don't know, live somewhere else for a little bit, but I'll always go back to BC. That is my home.
I don't know what, something about the Badlands in South Dakota that just really captivated me. And I don't think I would want to live there, but it kind of made me think like, boy, I'd like to just go live there or go, hike out and camp in those for a week or something. And just I've never done it. But, I did a helicopter ride over it just to kind of see the different. It was pretty fascinating.
That would be cool. We have like our version of the Badlands in Alberta, which is interesting to see. Some pretty stark landscapes. I hope do you know where are they? They're in South Dakota.
If you're on 90 going across, you hit them. I'm trying to remember when you come into South Dakota, it's more still this Midwest feel when you first come in out of Minnesota, and so and then it's more central.
Yeah,
I think then like you said, it's just really stark coming from stuff like this, which is a flatter, more green and tree, more of a lush environment, and then you hit these Badlands, and then on the other side you get the Black Hills and Mount Rushmore and some more of still some of the rock formations, but this really old growth forest. And so I think it was I enjoyed the state from that standpoint. Just so many, I guess Utah's that way a bit. If you go all the way down to St. George and the national parks down there with their arches and the red rocks and the canyonlands.
Yeah.
And then northern Utah. I mean, you can get into you went to Mountain Range, and that's more of obviously mountainous, but still high desert, especially on the western slope of the Wasatch, still more of a high desert, but on the eastern slope you do get more forests.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
I'm looking forward to check all that out because I still haven't been through Utah or anything like that either. So, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho. I'll be hitting some interesting places.
You could pass through Utah and just think this is the worst state ever, depending on
where you go, right?
Where you go.
I guess, yeah.
So, yeah, here's the classic.
Live music, wow.
I think they pretty much do this every week in the summer.
Yeah.
I've never come down, but when they're driving through like this, there's a band of some sort that's out there.
It's really old architecture here.
Yeah, you said, what do you do in Lansing? I'm always, like, if you stop at the rest area, or like the Michigan Welcome Center when we came in, there was, just after we came into Michigan, within 2 miles, there's a rest area, a rest stop. And you go in there and there's brochures. That's why I say if you stop at the rest area before you get to Lansing, then probably I would go in there and think, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff to do in Lansing. And I've lived here for 30 years. But you really can't. I mean, when my family comes out to visit, we go to the lake, go to Lake Michigan and go through Michigan State campus.
Yeah.
But there's not.
Yeah.
We've gone down to Detroit to the Henry Ford Museum and that sort of thing. Lansing.
No, I don't know if this is a dumb question, but is Lake Michigan good for swimming? Do lots of people swim in Lake Michigan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's pretty cold because large lake, or does it warm up decently in the summer?
Well, it does warm up in the summer. I don't know that you would call it.
Take the exit on the right.
In May,
I-69 north
in
toward
June,
Lansing.
you walk in there and it feels like needles are jabbing in you. But I guess I'm not turning as fast as I thought. Now, and it changed. Depends on which way the wind's blowing and the currents are going. But
Mm-hmm.
last weekend, it was, I think, up into the high 70s one day.
Take the
Oh, yeah.
exit.
And then a couple of days later, I was there for a week. The 4th of July week, I was up there all week.
Mm-hmm.
And it would, and like I say, one day it was really, couple days it was that kind of more that warm which is, I mean, 78, that's not extremely warm, but you can get in there and
Yeah.
kids stay in
No,
all
that sounds
day.
pretty pleasant. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say more frequently it's down in the high 60s, low 70s
Yeah.
during this time of year. But you
Yeah.
can still get in. And, I mean, when you jump in, it still kind of takes your breath a little bit. But then
Once you're in,
you're
it's a
fine.
lot easier. Yeah, I know that feeling.
But no, it's clear, and you can see the bottom. We're in a bay up there, so it's a little warm. But if you hit like over in Holland, different times of year, Muskegon, you get, they're not. I mean, the people surf even. It's not
Really?
like serious surfing.
Yeah.
I was surprised to find that people actually do, but I mean, you can get some good-sized waves coming in off the lake.
And then, which area of town are you in? The outskirts and the suburbs, or are you in town?
I'm on the west side of Lansing.
Okay.
So, we're on 69.
Yep.
I'm about probably 3 miles off of 69
Okay.
in Grand. It's called Grand Ledge. And then, so from Grand Ledge, you got it. And I mean, I can kind of show you if you want. I don't know if you want to kind of strategically scope things out.
I won't be hitchhiking on. Like by the time we get there, the sun will be getting close to setting, so I'll probably just get dinner and get a place to stay. I had one person offer to get me a place, if there's no viewers here, in town.
Somebody did in Lansing.
They just offered to give me a hotel, motel, whatever I wanted to celebrate day 100.
Oh.
So
Okay.
so I might just get a hotel, motel on the west side of town.
In that case, yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you where, because there's. So somebody just likes one of your viewers, just
Yep.
they call ahead and
Yeah.
pay for it.
Yeah. I've done that like 6 times on this trip or something like that, which is crazy generous. Like it's essentially like a donation, but like a hotel motel can be anywhere from $50 to $150 for like a place, which is substantial. So
Yeah, there's a New Hampton they just built right off up here.
yeah. Yeah.
Or there's a.
I try to find inexpensive for them in general. Maybe they'd pay a bunch, but I try to be like budget on the
I
side.
would think that would be within whatever range you just said. But there's a number of choices there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a Red Roof,
Okay.
and there's a Fairfield.
Yeah.
Right there. They just built a Hampton. There's a Marriott Spring Hill Suites.
Yeah.
Kind of back in a ways.
Okay. So lots of places around. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just take. I mean, it's literally from there. It's like 3 miles to my house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
No big deal. That's cool. Day 100.
Yeah. No, it's very exciting for me.
Spring for a hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a milestone today.
The 39 states.
Yeah. And then, well, on know if tomorrow will be 40, but 40's, yeah, 40's gonna be happy. Getting down to single digits,
Yeah.
pretty much for states remaining.
Well, if you can get, if you're gonna do the ferry thing, literally driving to Muskegon is, what is it, 2.5 hours?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what your days.
Like 2.5 hours drive can be a full day hitchhiking. I could probably do it in a day, but it might end up being I hitchhike all day. It's kind of later in the afternoon. I'll stay the night there, then catch the ferry in the morning, and then check out or try to hitchhike into Chicago that day. Stay in Chicago, then the next day hitchhike north back into Wisconsin. We'll see. There's many different options. Yeah.
When I came back from, I'm trying to remember what time of year I was over. Let's see, I think it was summer when I went over to Milwaukee on the ferry.
Yeah.
Obviously it has to be during, they don't take you across in the winter,
Mm-hmm.
but we left. When we left Milwaukee to come back, the sun was setting at some point early in the trip.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we saw the sun setting, and so it was, I don't know, they still run at night, the ferry.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
Maybe the last, if it was getting dark and it was summer though, it had to have been like 8 o'clock or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll look at the schedule. Do you know how much it costs? Is there walk on versus not walk on?
I don't
Okay.
know that.
So regardless, it's all right. But just curious.
I don't remember yet. I mean, the company I was working for at the time paid for it, but I think I had to pay for it and get reimbursed. I want to say maybe it was $40 or something like that.
Oh, that's really not bad then.
But I could be way off too.
Yeah.
And it's, you can take vehicles over to, drive your vehicle under the ferry. That's pretty expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything just a single passage is. And you can go up on the top deck, so you're out.
Yeah.
Or they have seating, and it seems like they had a big screen TV and
Mm-hmm.
just different things like that.
Yeah. That's cool.
So yeah, 96 goes east and west, and it's all the way down to Detroit,
Yeah.
and then across Michigan. So it comes in on the south side of Lansing here from Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's going to merge right up here with 69. So for the next however many miles, maybe 5 miles,
Yeah.
they're one and the same.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's why I say if you got a ride in that area,
Yeah.
I guess as long as if they stop and they say I'm going east instead of west, you don't get in.
Yeah.
It's not like where I picked you up, pretty much everybody getting on had to go. Everybody was going to go north on 69.
Exactly. Now there's options. Yeah. Which is makes hitchhiking more difficult, and you should use informative signs to let people know which direction you're going. Where I was in theory, it should be pretty clear. Like I could just use a thumb. I just find it fun to make the interstate shield signs. Also, it's Highway 69, which is just kind of funny, but yeah.
Well, it looked a little more creative too when I saw that. I'm like,
yeah.
this seems reasonable.
I drove past another one earlier today.
Yes,
Yeah.
down to Fort Wayne area.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Do you like farmers markets?
Yeah, I do. Is there one going on right now?
Well, it's a year round. It's in a facility, so it's not like the more authentic farmers market.
Oh, okay.
It's right by where you'll probably stay tonight.
Cool.
It's called Horrocks. So it's all sorts of international foods and
Yeah.
all sorts of vegetables and meats and cheese, salads, olive bar, all sorts of different things that
Cool.
may be of interest to you. Have you ever been like stranded somewhere for a number of days?
Not a number of days. Longest wait time I had was 8.5 hours. So I got there in the morning, got picked up in the late afternoon, kind of evening. That was in the winter in northern BC, Canada.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't that cold of a day. It was. Oh, I don't remember the conversion because it's like minus 17 Celsius. So forget what that would be in Fahrenheit, but.
Wow. It sounds cold. Minus 17 something.
Yeah,
Zero's freezing, right?
Yeah, 0's 32, or 0 Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit, so it was minus 17 Fahrenheit, so it's got to be, I don't know, close to around 0 Fahrenheit.
Probably about there.
But with that said, later on that trip I had 4 hours waiting in minus 40, which is when Fahrenheit and Celsius intersect again. So minus 40, you don't even have to say, because it's the same.
So here's Spring Hill Suites, back in the trees there.
Yeah.
But I'll take you up and then we'll come back,
Okay.
just so you can kind of get a feel for it. I mean, you can see it on the map, but this is probably your best bet. And this is my exit. I live just this way, about 3 miles.
Yeah.
But over here,
So that's the junction, and this goes
there's
west.
Cloverleaf.
Yeah.
So we'll come back around and show you. But there's all the hotels are right.
Oh, I see
right
them.
there.
Yeah, I see them.
But see this one down behind the fire station here. So these vehicles getting on,
Yeah.
that would be your on ramp. But this is still 69.96.
Okay. Are we still going north?
Still going north.
Okay. And it cuts west at some point up here?
Yeah. East and west.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There's still a junction.
It doesn't
Okay.
go north anymore.
Okay.
Just
In 1.75 miles, keep left to
so I
right
don't know. Do you sometimes just hike to a better location, or do you just go to your
It can
nearest?
like it's difficult with interstate stuff because sometimes the only way to get there's that on ramp on the interstate, even if there's like a junction up there.
left to right 96 west.
Yeah, like we're gonna go over the river here, so I guess
Yeah.
to cross the river. Well, canal off where the hotels are, Canal Road.
Connects
it
up
does
there.
cross.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's to hike up here, and then the problem up here too is the on ramp up here is going to be less traveled. That's much busier exchange back there.
Okay. Is there services up here on this one here? Like
There's a Flying J gas station, truck stop. That's why I ask you if you do truck stops, because that
oh, okay, yeah.
that would potentially be. But other than that, no, there's really none.
Okay.
So see, here's where
69 east, and then the
people
next will be
jumping on
69
back
west.
there. Many of them may be coming out
Turning
just
up
to
there,
start
yeah.
west.
Yeah.
And then obviously then 96 west to Grand Rapids.
Okay.
And so that would be, like, say, the option of the option to be that would be to come up here to Grand River. Which is where the Flying J.
Oh yeah, Flying J, 24 hours. Yeah.
So anybody getting on, there's a park and ride over here.
Yeah.
And then anybody getting on that on-ramp
It's
would
going
definitely be going
west. Yeah. Okay.
But, and you could, you know, again, I don't know what you'd be walking 3 miles or whatever.
Yeah,
it would
to
be.
connect up here.
Get up here if you thought that was a better.
I think if I, at the on-ramp near there, if I had a decent west sign,
Signage.
yeah, it's just would be a place where a sign is important.
Turn left on 96 East.
And then, say, the parking right there.
Yeah.
And then the Flying J gas station. And then that's, so we're actually going west now.
Yeah.
And that's where 96 goes off.
Does this follow in parallel to 96, or is this like?
Grand River does it. Yep, it
Okay.
goes all the way to Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you do that sometimes. Just pick a.
Take a smaller state highway sometimes. It depends.
It would be. Most people traveling this though wouldn't be going all the way to Grand Rapids.
Yeah,
When
this
they could just
that's the problem. Most people going long distances will take the interstate over the smaller state. They don't have to deal with lights like this. You just get to keep driving. But yeah, I guess that junction back there is where I'll hunker down for the night.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, there's
Yeah.
you know, restaurants. There's a McDonald's. There's a Burger King right there. There's an Outback Steakhouse. There's Horrocks. I think there's like a Fridays or a Finley's or some other restaurant. There's
Yeah.
PW3s. Whatever. And then if you come underneath the interstate here, there's the Culver's and the Arby's and the McDonald's, another McDonald's.
Yeah.
All your fast food options. A Walmart. If you need any supplies or whatever.
Got everything a hitchhiker could ever need.
But Horrocks is, I mean, it's where Walmart has groceries too.
Yeah.
Horrocks has all bases. Obviously all the produce. So does that charge? Is a charger in the window?
Oh,
Or is that
that's an antenna, yeah, for the for my internet, which is actually close to dying. What is the battery at?
It should be good.
We're at 9%. We'll make it.
Take exit 93A on the right to M43 West.
That's still a way to go. So we'll take B against Cloverleaf. So
Okay, yeah.
that would just send us westbound.
Yep.
Cracker Barrel.
That's
Restaurant.
Cracker Barrel. I went to one in Kentucky, I think. Was it Kentucky? I think so. It was good. Do you like Cracker Barrel?
We had breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've really ever eaten
They do breakfast all day.
dinner there. Yeah.
I'll eat breakfast for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's my favorite meal.
Yeah. Okay. There's a Bob Evans right there too.
Ooh, I've been to those too. I think I like Cracker Barrel more.
Yeah.
If you had to pick,
Cracker Barrel.
yeah, Cracker Barrel, yeah.
Yeah. Steak and Shake, Arby's, McDonald's,
Steak and Shake's pretty good.
Culver's.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a sidewalk
Yeah. Oh, okay.
over here.
They actually do have a sidewalk.
Yeah, I guess they do over here.
Yeah. That's nice. A lot of places I notice in like the middle-ish parts of the U.S. don't believe in sidewalks.
Yeah.
They don't invest in pedestrian infrastructure.
It's fairly new. So, anyway, yeah, this is a township, Delta Township, Outback. Just moved in here.
Yeah.
You were down the street. Oh, there's a Denny's over there too.
Wow, it's got lots of options.
Cheap breakfast at Denny's.
Yeah.
So Ramada Inn, they're building whatever there.
Cool.
Yeah, the Hampton is right down there.
Yeah.
Motel 6, Red Roof. This is where I
Oh,
was.
the Four Oaks.
Italy's over there at the Ramada.
Grill and Smokehouse, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably drop me off anywhere here, and I can just kind of figure out what I want for food and what I want for accommodation.
Yeah, I was just going to show you how to get. I don't know if you want. If you're looking for a less expensive hotel, obviously.
That's not, Motel 6 is
Motel 6
is
is
going to
right.
be cheap, and then quality is usually fairly cheap.
And then there's the Fairfield right there.
Anything Marriott branded is generally a little bit more.
Yeah. And then there's BW Buffalo Wild Wings. Anyway.
Got lots of options.
So, I don't even know where Motel 6 is.
I saw the
I saw the sign.
yeah, I
for
saw the
it.
sign, but I don't know.
Oh, it's back over there.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway. Well,
Yeah, just anywhere here, and I can finagle my way around, and
yeah, it's not like you haven't done this before, right?
yeah.
I know I'm starting to think, okay, gotta make sure you're taking care of
And a lot of people do.
it. Is day 100, Travis. I'm
yeah.
good.
Travis.
It's not my first rodeo.
Yeah, day 100, 25th country.
Alright, I'm just gonna.
Cool.
Oh, there's the hibachi grill.
Oh, a hibachi place. Ooh, sushi. Oh, I love sushi. Michigan isn't really known for its sushi, though, but we can see.
No. If we were in East Lansing or Okemos, I could show you good sushi. There's,
This guy trying to get out here. Oh, he might
I
be
don't
trying.
think he can. Can he?
Yeah, there's just a gap in the middle.
That was blocked off.
Let's
so
just
you
go into
couldn't
the
get-
parking lot.
Yeah. Get you across over here then. Yeah, I picked that because I didn't think that anybody would be driving through there.
Yeah. Alright, well, thank you so much for the ride. I do appreciate that.
Oh, you bet.
Now, would you mind, as part of the documentation process, if we get like a quick picture together just to show the
Yeah,
different
no,
types of
that's
people?
fine.
We can do it in the car if you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to get out.
Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
The different types of people that we're willing to.
Yeah, because people think it's like, it's all like sketchy people picking up hitchhikers and stuff, but it's just normal people going about their day-to-day lives.
If I am sketchy, I'm not going to reveal that to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I think I'm pretty middle of the road. So.
Yeah, it's just people have a very negative outlook on hitchhiking, and I'll give you a card as well if you do want to see what I do.
Yeah,
you
I
can
was
find my
gonna
stuff
say
there.
then, so that's
So
where
it's twitch.tv, and then that second dot should be a / Staples decided to misprint.
here the underscore or the dot.
The second dot should
Oh,
be
okay.
a front slash thing. Yeah. Oh,
If you,
this is yours. Come back through this area.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you, I mean, if you're stranded tomorrow, I am going. My wife she stays the summer at the cottage up on Lake Michigan. It's northern Michigan, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you were stuck,
Yeah.
if you go beyond your 8 hours, I'll be heading north, and I could go north. I could go west and then north.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, if you were, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay, but I do really
for
appreciate
whatever
that.
reason, yeah.
No, that's very generous of you. Thank you.
Like I say, there's a seat available in my car. So.
Well, I appreciate that. All right, let's do this. I got all my stuff. Okay. Just take me 1 sec to get all my backpack out. Yeah, I got his card. Excuse me, can you stand up? Thank you. Thanks again for the ride, conversation, and everything. I appreciate that. Have a great evening. This guy wants to park here. Ooh, it smells good. Just it's a pretty busy parking lot. I don't want to take up a spot by squatting there. Man, you guys freak out. Monka ass. Monka ass. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here. Screw that. Hibachi? Cindy's muted. He was showing me what he did, but he didn't just really want that to be on stream. And because he didn't want me to really show what that is, I'm not going to tell you about it because, well, for his own privacy. Okay, I need to get a cord and a battery. For my jetpack, because it's dead. Or about to die. You guys are dying. Stay with me, chat. Stay with me. I'll get you a nice battery. Get you juiced up. It'll be great. Be all great. Just stay with me. Order of operations. I'm hungry. We're going for food. While we're at food, we'll figure out accommodation. Once we have accommodation, then we've got a place to sleep. Once we've got a place to sleep, goodbye stream. I go sleep for the night. So, we caught 5 rides today, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Game over, man. So it was muted with no camera for 3 minutes. Yes, for his privacy. For his, what he was doing. Let's see what we're down to. Oh, it's still 9%. Single digits though. We're fading fast. No, you're still at 9%. Covered a good distance today? Agreed. Now I've gone so far north that I'll have to be going south again. Whether that's ferry or to the coast and then along Lake Michigan around Lake Michigan. But regardless, we still made some distance today. But yeah, started in Indianapolis, Indiana, and now we're in Lansing, Michigan. New state, 5 rides. How many miles that is, I don't know. Probably 250 or something like that. 250, close to 300. Yeah, next thing is food. Now, I kind of want to go to that sushi bar. I want to make sure that it has okay reviews first though. It was a great day 100, I agree. And the rides came really quick today.
Angelic Sun, I would love to meet you. Where are ya? Where are you in this world? In this big, wonderful world we are in. Am I going to TwitchCon? I absolutely am. That's a great place to meet me. If you're going. Ferry to Chicago only leaves from Flint now. Uh-huh. That's good reviews. See, the thing is, like, hibachi's cool and it'd be fun for the stream, but I want sushi. I don't want grilled. I want sushi if I go to a sushi restaurant. Going to Detroit, negative. That is a negative. Ghost Rider. Be in Grand Rapids tomorrow? Cool. They have sushi? Yeah. Sushi. Well, it has good reviews, so unless they fake their reviews, but it's got a lot of reviews. 523 Google reviews. Ferry's 9350. Hibachi for content? I do stuff because I want to do them. Remember all you can eat sushi plate? What state was that? That was in Rhode Island. Found you through the awesome Relic Clown. Relic Clown is awesome. Yeah, I might just get sushi there. I know hibachi would be fun for you guys to watch, but I just want sushi. Albeit I'm quite hungry. So. Could you even stream on a ferry? Well, until a decent ways out. If they have Wi-Fi, then maybe it would work in the middle, but I have a feeling like we'd struggle with cellular reception in the middle of Lake Michigan. But on the coast for sure. Nice thing about the ocean is there's no visual barriers until the curvature of the earth takes over. So there's nothing blocking signal. Well, anyway, I'm hungry. Let's just go get some sushi. That sounds nice. I'll get my stuff into my bag here. And we'll go. You're the only person that hates sushi? Probably. Only person in this world. Sushi getting fancy, are we? I'm from, like, the coast of Canada. We got good sushi there. Vancouver, excellent sushi. I think Vancouver is up there, like, you know, you're gonna probably get better sushi in Japan and Tokyo and stuff, but, like, for Western sushi, I think Vancouver is some of your best. Don't like any fish, never had it, but the smell makes you... well, fresh fish doesn't really smell very fishy. So the fish smells really fishy, and it's not very fresh and, well, yeah. Get in there. Get back. Come on. Yeah. Alright. So, we're kind of done the 69 now. So everyone say goodnight, bye to the 69 sign. It's too wide, so I'm going to have to fold it, unfortunately. I guess I'll just fold it down the middle. There's already a crease there, we'll just fold it like that. Should be enough. Oh yeah. Let's go to sushi. 69. Can you turn 69 upside down for 96? No, unfortunately we turned 69 upside down, it's still 69. 8 days less on your visa? Yeah, that's correct, but I've done 39 states. So I shouldn't use another 80 days to do the last 11. I think I could finish the rest of the continental US within a month, maybe 3 weeks. And then Alaska and Hawaii are the wild cards.
Hey, what'd she say was the reason?
Thanks, bud. Oh, we're good.
Hi. Yeah, for one. Sushi, please. Right back. Thank you. Thank you. I wouldn't be able to hitchhike that ferry most likely. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a passenger ferry. It's a paid ferry thing, unless I snuck on, which is illegal. I don't know how you'd hitchhike that. I'm gonna do a speed test, see if I can pump up the jam a little bit now that we're back in civilization. Let's see what we got. We're getting 40 down, which is 50 down, which is good. I need upload though. Let's see, upload, oh yeah, 40 up. We're good. We're good, guys. Michigan, good internet. So we did the planes. The thing with the planes is it's a private flight. Like there's no option to pay for it anyway. It's just someone that's flying anywhere anyway. So then they're like, yeah, sure, you can come along. This is a passenger ferry that's designed for people to pay for it. Resolution 720 bitrate. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly restart the stream in HD, so I'll be right back in 2 seconds.